Okay, Dasho Rose here, back with another video. I actually had to redo it because my phone was only at a couple percentages left. I think it was on 3. So I had to charge my phone for a little bit. And apparently it stopped my video when I hit the home button on my phone. But anywho, I'm finally here to talk about one of my childhood shows. Magic School Bus. That's right, Magic School Bus. But Magic School Bus is a 90s kids cartoon that I used to watch all the time growing up. It was pretty good. But yeah, it was really good, and I really liked it. I tried to stop it at the moment where I stopped it last time. But yeah, this show was really, really good. I really liked it. I watched it a lot in school and a little bit at home. It was a pretty nice show. I think this is a PBS Kids show. It's been off the air for so long, I don't even know anymore. I think I've seen reboots of it. Well, what reboots it be, but episodes of it on PBS Kids before it completely got taken off. But yeah, after talking about the reboot, I figured it's time to talk about the original. If you want my thoughts on the reboot, well, then you'll have to watch the reboot video called the Magic School Bus Rides Again review. Anywho, let's get into this episode. I mean this show, shall we? Anywho, this is the Magic School Bus, the original TV show that came out in the 90s. I actually really do like this show, though. I used to watch it a lot in school and stuff. It's a really good show. It teaches you a lot of stuff. Some stuff isn't, some stuff on this show is wrong because they don't teach you, well, like, it's different now than it was back then, but I'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to talk about the classmates. Unlike the reboot, the classmates feel like human beings. They feel like they're each different in their own way. Like, each of them have catchphrases. The reboot, some of the characters have catchphrases, but most of them do not. The only character, though, I think here that doesn't really have a catchphrase is Tim. Tim has actually been voiced, I think, by 2 voice actors. I'm not sure about the other characters because they were close to hitting puberty, but I know Tim was already hit puberty when the kids started voicing him. But yeah, but the last character to hit puberty and to have his voice changed was a voice actor who voiced Arnold. And Arnold is actually my favorite character on this show. I just love Arnold. Arnold is just amazing. I like how he's cowardly and I just love that he's scared of field trips. I mean, I'd be a little scared too. I mean, some of these field trips Miss Frizzle goes on, I'd be scared too. I mean, sometimes she's in the air. I'd be scared to be. I don't like heights, so I'd be scared to be in the air and all that, in a plane or something. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's what's so unique about this show. They managed to teach you stuff, but keep you really entertained at the same time by taking you on different field trips. And the animation here, although it's a little bit outdated because you can tell that it's a little bit blurry-ish and darkened, it still looks really good. The animation still looks really good in this show. I mean, unlike the reboot, at least you can tell all the characters apart from each other. But yeah, I really do like this show. I really do. I do like Miss Frizzle, too. I like how Miss Frizzle is, Miss Frizzle is basically like this teacher. She's always happy. Like literally, it's impossible to see her mad in this show. This show, by the way, went from 4 seasons. But there's only 1 season of this show now. I'm thinking they're going to be taking this off of Netflix soon too. Which I don't know where to go to watch this show once it's gone. If somebody would want to tell me in the comments, please tell me where I can find this show on a streaming platform. Like, is it on Peacock? Is it on, like, I don't know what it's on. I know it's not going to be on Disney Plus because Disney doesn't own this show. Thank goodness. But yeah, Miss Frizzle though, the only time she has a mad look on her face is when they went in Janet's nose and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of gross the way Carl makes a joke. But yeah, Carl's makes a joke all the time. He makes a joke, and there are a lot about time that are bad puns. Now in the reboot, they do have him do that sometimes too. But yeah, it's really funny. And also Phoebe's there too. See, Phoebe wasn't in the reboot, but she's here there, and she actually talks about her old school a lot of the times. But she is an interesting character too. But yeah, I do really like this show. I like the music and stuff. One thing I didn't mention in my review is that the reboot doesn't really have a lot of soundtrack. There's not a big soundtrack in it as the original. But yeah, anywho, I think it's time I also talk about the stuff they teach you that's no longer real. I'll be there in a second. But anywho, this is one of the subjects they talked about in the past that's no longer really true. In this show, there's still 9 planets. But in the reboot, they only have 8 planets, because Pluto is sadly a dwarf planet now. It wasn't a planet at all, but now they're making it a dwarf planet, but people are still not counting it as a planet. Which I honestly have to disagree. I think it doesn't matter about the size. It's like saying a human. If a human is like only 3 foot tall, like a Munchkin, they're still humans. I mean, I totally disagree with scientists on this, but that's just me. But Pluto here also looks like a moon. But since we have better technology now, Pluto actually doesn't look anything like this. It looks more like a planet. There's even a red spot on it. So it's like a frozen Mars kind of sort of. It's really interesting. But Pluto became not a planet in 2006, and then in 2016 they made it a planet again, but it was a dwarf planet. Honestly, it's really hard to find puzzles with Pluto on it to like space puzzles. But yeah, this is actually before the reboot comes up, but the reboot's still counting only 8 planets. But yeah, I'll probably make a video about Pluto in the future. But anywho, let's see, what else do I want to add? Well, this is Lost in Space, definitely an amazing episode, even if Janet's in it. Janet's kind of a brat, honestly. She's a brat, but yeah, she's still. But yeah, but this episode feels like it should be episode 3 or something, or later in season 1, because this is introducing Janet but she's not a new student. She's only there. So I actually thought this was a different numbered episode, because there's 13 in this season. But I guess it's actually the first episode according to Netflix. But yeah, I do really like this show. Another episode I want to talk about is the Magic School Bus, The Haunting. Where Miss Frizzle and the class get stuck, their bus breaks down, and they have to spend the night in a haunted house. it's like a sound museum. But the episode was a little bit creepy. However, what really got me when I was a kid was the fact that apparently the kid, like, because this show, unlike the reboot, this show, like I said, has the producer in it. I said that in the reboot. The producer's in here, and sometimes there's another lady that appears. Sometimes it's classmates like Phoebe and stuff, but apparently the guest that appears at the end of this is a ghost. And I'm wondering if it's the ghost of Cornelia, or however you pronounce her name. That's what I'm wondering. Because they talk about it, how she disappeared in 1892 in the episode. So she disappeared in the 1800s. That's really creepy and interesting. I mean, it's creepy for a Todd cartoon, though. I mean, I guess kids can watch this too, but this show is aimed more for, like, kids and Todds. So having Todd see this episode is kind of scary. But it's better than having, the kids get introduced to, the audience that are kids get introduced to a new teacher who makes fun of people dying, like a certain someone. But I'm not going to talk about that. I've already talked a lot about the reboot and mentioned it in this video. But yeah, this is the Magic School Bus, though. Definitely got really good animation. The music's really good. I love the field trips. Definitely a really good TV show. I don't know if it's top 10 material, but it's definitely up there. Definitely a really good show. I would recommend this to all your kids. Even if some of the stuff's outdated, like the planets and stuff, I would still recommend it. It's really interesting. But if I missed anything, I may also tackle this show later too. So anywho, I'm gonna let this go, and I will see you guys again. Oh, I forgot one more thing. Almost forgot this. I have to give this points, of course. It's definitely getting 120 points. Definitely getting 120 points. It does a really good job at teaching you stuff. The characters are all likable. Janet is kind of questionable, but she's only in a few episodes, and I really do like some of the jokes they have in this episode. I mean, in this TV show. And I really liked all the space and other places they visit. It's really good. I even like the episode where they go back in time. It's really good. But anywho, that's my review on the Magic School Bus. Probably the first PBS Kids show. There may be more in the future. Anywho, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And please let me know down in the comments what you think of the Magic School Bus. And if you would like to show your kids this. Anywho, Dash Rose out.